Are you ready for the Low Blows Network? It's the show where you control what's on the agenda. Ask us anything and we're bound to answer. Starring Rick Nash, Corporate King, and the Queen of Irish Wrestling, Katie Harvey. It's Ask Low Blows.
Hi, it's Ask Low Blows apparently. I didn't know we were recording, but we started. It's the third week of me being the host, am I right in saying that?
Yeah.
So welcome to the third
fourth
week.
but the third show.
You see, now you've just confused me, so we're just gonna disregard that. Anyway, it's an edition of Ask Low Blows with your host Corporate Keen. I'm joined, of course, alongside Rick Nash, the host of Low Blows, and Katie. And basically, yeah, I don't know. It's been a mad week. How have your weeks been?
Do you know, I've just realised the way you do the intro, I'm the Aiden of Club.
Yeah, that's what I was going for. I was hoping you'd notice.
Oh, okay, yeah, no, I noticed. I got it. Cool.
Am I the Captain Sexy?
Sure.
Yeah!
Yes.
I'm definitely the Aiden. Like,
And like the biggest name. That's what I love about like the way we use Katie on Love Loves. Like, you ever listen to like American podcasts where they get like a wrestler in and like the co-hosts are like, and what did you think of Starcade 83? Tell us what to think. Whereas like it's the most Irish thing ever where we get an actual like wrestler in and we're like, sup Katie? The fuck's sake, yeah. It's the most Irish thing ever. It's brilliant. That's such a fan.
So yeah, as I said, mad week. My family went on holidays without me.
Oh,
it was a great ass.
wow, I feel like there's something you want to work through.
You want to talk about it?
No, I'm only messing. I chose not to go because I don't want to go with my mum and sister.
Oh, good,
there.
they told you.
They're oh yeah, they did. I didn't just show up and they were like, no, we go. Anyway, Henry the Great ass. Swap two Irish wrestlers' theme songs. Who and how would their entrance change? Can be as weird as you want.
See, I just picked entrance themes that I wanted to do, that I wanted to steal.
Right.
And ironically, the first one that comes to mind is Club Tropicana's. Their entrance music an absolute bop. I'm one of the few people that gets upset when they change the music for big shows. I just want the original all the time.
Rick James, give it to me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And, like it's
a tune.
class. Like
Yeah, but Africa.
no, I know.
Sweet
Know
Caroline.
yourself. What
Sweet
is-
Caroline.
Okay, Sweet
entrance.
Caroline was the one that swayed me a little bit because of the routine.
Yeah.
But like generally, I love their regular song and I want them to keep it.
I like
Yeah.
how they have like WrestleMania songs. You know what I mean? Like kind of like they step it up for the big one. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like a play off the Angel Cruisers, like the big show, and the Cruisers have their own kind. They have a video, and Tropicana have an entrance. I love that shit. Yeah, and I love the way we all get it as well in Irish wrestling. It's not
Yeah.
just very in. No, but I get what you're saying. It is a fucking tune. But
Yeah. I brought my Belgian friends to see the last show in Tala, the homecoming one where they
Nice.
did Sweet Caroline.
Yeah.
They were so confused about like, they were like, "Is this what they do?" And I was like, "No, I've never seen them do this song before." But they were like, "But everyone knows it," and I was like, "Yeah, we do." Yeah.
This is Irish wrestling now. It's like we do a show inside J Money's Mind, and we all just go there.
Yeah.
We're all just like, no, this is what's happening.
This is what makes sense to us.
Yeah,
yes.
no, the key, and the wrestling, and the wrestling box. Why would you not understand this?
But neither of you have actually answered the question.
Oh yeah.
I'll go on. Michael May doing Maniac, but like just like still doing his entrance. So just coming out like walking out straight and like just walking through the crowd, and it's like yeah, fuck it, yeah.
We forgot to mention one of the best parts of the School of Irish Wrestling show.
What?
And it's Michael May unintentionally doing comedy.
Oh,
He has become unintentionally the funniest person in the world. It's like, you know when you're in school and your geography teacher's making a joke?
yeah.
And it's just like, you're kind of laughing at him but not with him, but Michael's doing that on purpose, but also
Yeah.
it seems really unintentional and it's just really dry and deadpan and it's the funniest thing in the world. So I'd absolutely love to see that. Like
He's got comic chops now.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
got that bit of like the wink and nod charisma where like something
Yes.
funny happens and he'll just kind of like he'll just the tiniest hint of a smile and
Yeah.
they're like he knows.
Yeah.
I sold.
like if he was on a comedy show, we'd be breaking the fourth wall kind of thing. Like,
He was
yeah.
perfect, like on J Money show, for example, like where it's just like, he's going in, it's just little wink to the crowd, and it's
Yeah.
just like,
We still haven't answered the question, sorry.
Well, I mean, we got an answer. I mean, do you have anything else you want to...
Yeah, swap me with Tropicana.
Oh, right, okay, sorry.
because I want to do their entrance.
I've got a good answer for this, right? So I'm cheating a bit. I'm going back for old songs that aren't used in Irish wrestling anymore.
Yeah.
But do you remember the Big Hangovers used to use 99 Problems by Jay-Z?
Yeah.
So I'd have Owen Richards storm out 99 Problems, but a bitch ain't one, and he's coming out trying to look like a fucking tank. But like, I don't know, I just think it'd be cool.
Are you saying Owen Richards is not a
No,
tank?
he is a tank, but it's a different type of tank. Do you know what I mean? It's an Owen Richards Chariots of Fire.
Owen you're Richards.
Owen Richards. What's a Richards?
Do you know what? I'm just going to end this question. Thanks a lot, Heather the Great. Yeah, sorry if the answer was shit, but you get the idea. 99 Problems.
Why'd you look at me when you said that?
99 Problems, Owen Richards, which would mean the Big Hangovers and use Chariots of Fire, which also works. So, I mean, yeah. At Andrew's Crack, who needs a Kwik-E-Mart?
Is there any context to that?
Maybe it made sense 2 weeks ago when you asked it. It feels like that was a running joke on the last Oslo Blows that we've since forgotten.
Well, it's a Simpsons reference. Harry used the Simpsons references.
Really
I
good on
referenced
the
it back.
originals.
I
Yeah.
finished the joke.
You see, I'm not. Like, I watched a lot of Simpsons growing up, but I don't know. For some reason, all the references just go over my head. I don't know why. But I plan on watching every Simpsons episode from start to finish at some point, and maybe then I'll be better at it. So
You need to get it on Netflix.
Yeah.
That's I'd like. Yeah, no, I don't, not every episode. Like
Just
I'm
the
watching
first
every-
up to season 10.
Yeah.
I'm watching every episode. I'm going to go all in.
Oh man.
So I enjoy watching all the Tree Houses of Horror at Halloween, even the new seasons, because I like how they parody stuff. Yeah.
Well, speaking of Simpsons, at Simpsons WWE, what's your...
Nice tie-in. That was a good tie-in. He's
Yeah,
good, man.
yeah,
He's
you
good.
see,
He's got
you
it.
see? That was skills. It's a lot more skillful when you don't point it out and you just slide with it. But you have to point. Yeah, I have to point it out. That was a work of art. Anyway, he asks, "What's your favorite action hero one-liner?" Mine's when Arnie. I assume that's Arnold Schwarzenegger. Am I right in saying?
Yeah, you are.
Arnie fucks a knife at a lad, pinning him to the wall, and says, "Stick around."
Well, there's only one answer to this question, and that's incorrect. The greatest action one-liner of all time is Nicolas Cage in Conair asking, why couldn't you just put the bunny back in the box? And he just kicks the shit out of people for unknown reasons. No, there's reasons. It's because they stole his daughter's toy bunny, a rapist did, and it was all a bit weird. You've seen Conair, right?
Oh,
Okay.
Keen. That's
Okay,
Keen.
I'm going to explain the plot of Conair to you, right?
Why does it sound familiar? I feel like I
It's-
might have walked in on someone watching it.
It's the greatest film of all time.
Walked in. It's not porn, like.
Well, yeah, but I mean, that's how, yeah, okay.
It's action porn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, okay, so Conair is basically a man accidentally kills someone defending his wife in a bar. Okay, so he's a good person, just he's defending his wife and he accidentally kills the guy because he's a Marine. Okay, because of this, he goes to prison. He's about to get released, but the only way to get him home is to go on a special flight that's reserved for convicts. So basically, he's on a flight home, and everyone else on the plane is a rapist, a murderer, has committed violent assault. They're all cons. Con Air, because they're in the air on a plane.
I get that.
Yeah.
So proud of yourself for discovering that.
Once they take off, the cons overthrow the plane, and what they're planning to do is escape on this plane. So they assault the officers and tie them up, and the convicts are in charge of this plane, and they're trying to fly it away.
Are they not being let out anyway?
No. These are being transferred to a different prison.
Oh, but
he's the only one being released.
Oh, bollocks! Yeah.
And because he's a good person, he decides, I'm going to fight this entire plane of convicts in the air.
Just good luck with that.
It's amazing.
And Steve Buscemi is he's what's the word? Cannibal.
Yeah.
He's class. He's so sick.
And John Malkovich is in it as Cyrus the Virus, like one of the best villains of all time. It's what Eric Rowan is trying to be, the soft-spoken villain.
Who's John
Malkovich.
You know him to see. You should. Well, no, you would.
All right, let me just do a quick.
He looks like Stone Cold Steve. He looks like Billy Corgan.
Doesn't make for good audio. I apologise, but John, please spell it out for me. John
Malkovich.
Malkovich. Oh, Malkovich.
I'd say all the diehards. Like, there's so many one-liners in that.
I do.
Oh, fucking shit, ladies! Does it sound like I'm ordering a fucking pizza?
I do kind of know him to see. Was he in a show I might have watched? I don't know. I don't really have time to look it up. I really wish I did. But yeah, it's got its own Wikipedia just for his filmography. I'm not looking that up, right? Fuck it. I'm sure I've seen him somewhere. Anyway, so it's good then.
Oh, it's brilliant. Everyone should watch Conair. Just turn your brain off and watch Conair.
It's good, I don't know, Stephen's Day movie where it's like, because Stephen's Day I use as a day to catch up on movies that I haven't seen either before, I haven't seen in years. So I watched like the Back to the Future trilogy, like all of it last Stephen's Day, because I haven't seen that fucking years. So, like, yeah, that's a good, like, kind of just... Because you know the way, like, you're watching all Christmas movies or seasonal movies building up to it, and then after Stephen's Day, you're like, oh, I can watch cool movies again. Like, it's a good movie.
Do you have those weird traditions, though? I remember for years, me and my brothers watched Rush Hour every Christmas Eve.
Rush Hour. That's
Not sure why.
We watched Love Actually. I'm so sick of it.
That's a Christmas movie, though.
It's my mom's favourite movie, so we all have to sit around and watch it. And, like, when I watch rom-coms, I get my fun in rom-coms through, like, making fun of... That wouldn't happen. Like, for example, do you know that whole, like, scene where he's like, you are perfect to me and all that? I just watch that, I'm like, shit, mate. He's a shit friend.
Oh,
he is such a shit friend. Like, if my friend did that to me, and she just cheated on her husband.
Yeah.
Cheated on her husband when he's right there and he's done nothing wrong. Like, I rip into that movie, like, from start to finish. I tweeted it out last year. Like,
Alan Rickman broke my heart. Massive Alan Rickman fan. Broke my heart.
It was sad to see, yeah. Yeah, it was, yeah.
Yeah, but what is your favourite action hero one-liner?
Die Hard. We answered this.
Oh,
Mine's
sorry.
from Conair.
Well, mine is John Cena when he said the champ is here because he was the champion and he was there. And I thought that was really cool the way he backed up his words. At Kento CCFC, how long do you think Finn Balor was originally meant to hold the Universal title and who was meant to beat him for it?
When they put the belt on, like, the cool lads we like around, like, autumn, like, when the football season's on, which is, like, starting now this weekend. When they put the belt on those lads, they tend to then lose it when it heads into WrestleMania season. They're like, all right, you had your nice thing, and now fucking Goldberg's going to win the belt. You know what I mean? Like, we're going to do what we want now, because you gave your Balor as champion. So I say you would have held it maybe till Survivor Series or the Royal Rumble or something like that. Who was in the main event of Mania the year after? So what year would that have been? 2015. So who was in the main event of 2016? No, it would have been 2016.
Triple H and Reigns.
So yeah, Triple H Triple H won the Rumble, so Reigns would have won the title off him.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know. I don't know. I don't work there, so I'm just gonna say Balor was gonna win it and hold it till now because that'd be really cool. And obviously Rowan's on the same brand as him to kick his head in, so you know. I don't know. What about you, Katie? Who do you think? Would you have gone in and beaten the shit out of Balor and took his title?
Me, personally? Yeah.
Oh, shit. That would have been mad.
If I'd done a run in and bet Finn Balor.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd say they would have given him a long reign, the first one, like a good establishing reign. I don't know who would have bet him because I can't remember what was going on then.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Yeah, can I? I'm kind of going blank. I mean, like...
Rollins he was feuding with, so Rollins could have done a back and forth thing.
I don't know. You see, things also like change and stuff. You know what I mean? And like plans that they might have had could easily have changed, later on or something. You don't know. Like,
yeah, no, that's right.
Hard to speculate, but thanks for the question nonetheless. Tony Kenny, Queen versus Keen for this week is list as many WWE matches types as possible in 30 seconds. WCW.
Why did you struggle to read that word so much?
Because it's grammatically incorrect. But thanks, Tony, nonetheless. I'm not slating you. I'm just saying.
I get you. Okay,
he's going to turn now.
No, he's not going to turn. No, Tony's loyal to corporate key, and we all know that Katie Harvey is the worst LowsBowl host. So obviously, it's my responsibility to allow Rick to be the sort of what would you call it?
Judge.
Sure.
It's late.
Yeah. And I'm going to, as the host, allow Katie to go first.
Okay, good stuff. Shit. Katie, WWE, WCW, and ECW match types. 30 seconds on the clock starting now.
Single, tag, triple threat, fatal four-way, six-pack challenge, scramble, cage, hell in a cell, first blood, human torch, elimination chamber, Punjabi prison match, Ambrose Asylum, hardcore, street fight,
10 seconds.
Boiler room brawl, on a pole match, lots of on a pole matches.
3, 2,
Buff Bagwell's mum on a pole.
There's only one on a pole. Right, that was 17. I was pretty fucking good. Keane, you have to name more than one every 2 seconds. Okay, 30 seconds on the clock starting now.
Hairspray on a pole match. Single, tag, triple threat, fatal 4-way, fatal 5-way, 6-way. We'll cut it there. That's about fair. Royal Rumble, Battle Royal, cage match, Hell in a Cell, Elimination Chamber, Punjabi Prison, Falls Count Anywhere, no holds barred, street fight, no DQ, no countdown match on its own. I mean, that happens. 6-man tag, 8-man tag. Submission,
9,
I quit.
8,
Inferno match,
7,
first
6,
blood match, castle
5,
match, paid live match.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Stressing me
You
out.
got 24.
Oh shit!
You had a one after 15 seconds.
Oh, you could have told me that.
No, it was.
He
I
took
like the
loads of my
stress.
cool ones. My
Yeah,
unique
that's
ones.
why you don't go first.
Why did I go first?
Because I'm the host, and I do what I want.
I think I still did pretty well on that one, guys.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
you did
that's
better,
stressing me out.
but like you still lost.
Remember the Human Torch match? That was gas.
No, I don't even know what that is.
Vampiro and Sting in WCW, and you had to literally set the other person on fire.
What?
Yeah.
Why has nobody told me about this? That's deadly.
It would have been around maybe 99, 2000.
We should have done that in Courage.
I feel like he set Sting on fire and pushed him off a scaffold.
Can we book Katie Harvey in a Human Torch match? That sounds amazing.
Did I
Right, I've
invent
got a
this
compromise, right? I've got a compromise. Okay, Katie, so do you know why we have a new... you remember when I started as GM of Fight Factory?
Yeah.
And you know the way we have a new venue, and I had a big idea that I wanted to do, and we couldn't do it because of health and safety reasons, but now we've got a new venue, so there's new health and safety reasons. And you know the way you're dealing with the new venue, so you'd know about this? Can we do an Inferno match?
No.
Ah!
Not Inferno. We could
I wanted like the Katie Harvey comeback.
Human Torch.
I'm just checking that I didn't invent the Human Torch match.
So wait, is this the same as the Inferno match?
No, because you actually set them on fire.
That's what I was thinking. That sounds way funnier. I'd like that.
Yeah,
oh, man.
Human Torch match.
Gas.
There might be more than one. Who the fuck?
It was a
more than
pay-per-view.
one?
WCW in 2000. Every pay-per-view was a Human Torch special.
I need to watch
Human
it.
Torch match is an episode of Gravest Matches Ever, which is on the WWE Network. Oh yeah, Sting and Vampiro, Great American Bash 2000, with WCW's first and only Human Torch match.
Do you know what you should do, Keane? Do you know what to make for a great video? WCW in 2000 was an absolute shit show. It's basically pick your fucking poison. You need to link up with Jamie from Hot Tag Time Machine and like have him pick out the shittest pay-per-view ever from that era. Jesus, Katie.
I'm sorry, I put on the finish and gave myself a fright.
She actually jumped. You need to link up with Jamie from Hot Tag Time Machine and like look at a WCW pay-per-view from 2000 because I think you'd fucking love it. I think it'd be right
It
up your
sounds
alley.
unreal. It does sound corporate keen.
That'd be a corporate Keane video right
I
there.
did remember there is scaffolding involved.
Katie's fascinated by what she's seeing right now. It's, I mean, again, very bad audio content because you can't.
I'm sorry, I loved WCW for this kind of shit. You know when you just remember something, right? And you're like, that's so mad, it can't possibly be true.
Yeah.
And then you look it up on YouTube and it is true.
You've got similar taste to Corporate Keane. You have chemistry, guys. Just admit it, like.
Well, we have a team name,
Ian,
which is our.
look.
Why does
that
nobody
shit.
talk about this?
Screenshot that shit.
Oh, no. The Human Torch match.
Screenshot it and send it on.
Yeah, send that to me. What the fuck is that?
I need to see that.
Yeah. So again, sorry. This is
We'll
probably
put it up on the Instagram.
This is
You'll see it on the Instagram.
not the best audio content. So I'm just going to move on to the next question. Thanks a lot, Tony. I
Well
don't
done,
think.
Keane.
I don't
Still the captain.
I don't think. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
I
I've
don't,
3 months to win it back.
I don't think Tony intended on bringing up the Human Torch match. And
This is what we're doing. This
Bringing
is what
it
the
into-
late night shows. When you get a 2-hour Low Blows, like Ask Low Blows will be us just answering whatever question we want. We answered like action movie one-liners with our Christmas traditions.
like, I don't think he wanted to bring the Human Torch into my life, but I don't think he was against it either. So I appreciate it. Butch tweets in asking, why did you foul me and John because we had another white ball in his pocket that he didn't use?
Funny.
Well, I have a question, right? What was the story with that like count you kept doing? That was really like stressful.
Okay,
was
yeah, that's the
stressful.
point. So now we've introduced a new rule to Low Blows Pill where we do a New Japan 20 count.
It was 20.
Yeah.
I thought it was 10. No one told me it was 20.
Because it's a faster cadence as well. So
That's
it's
why I was like,
1,
Jesus, Rick.
2, 3, 4. So it does put you under pressure because, like, look, it's pool for entertainment.
Yeah, but I thought it was
and
a
it's
£5.
really boring when someone's thinking about a shot for 2 minutes, so it's like putting you under pressure. If you have to make a shot in 20 seconds, it'll also help people with their ADHD.
20's grand. Oh, I only asked because I thought it was 5 or 10. I was like,
No.
what? What's it? Nobody
New
went
Japan
that.
20 count.
Nobody ran that ahead of me. Like, I had to do that pool the other day, but fuck it. So yeah, unlucky. You'll get your titles. No, you won't. No, the woke Keens are holding those titles till the end of time.
I already know what we're doing at Survivor Series, though. I'm not telling you yet.
Oh,
Yeah.
Ooh, is it a Survivor Series style
Does
tag
it
match?
involve us finding Survivor Series tag partners?
Oh, Team Katie versus Team Keen.
No, we're tag team champions.
Fine, Team Wokeens versus Team Alliance or something like that.
There may be Survivor Series match involved.
Yeah!
Yeah.
I fucking love that shit. Aina tweets in, lads, this is sort of something I thought about, right? Do you prefer being called by your Twitter handles or your name?
The only reason I include Twitter handles is so people can then follow each other and they can be friends. And, like, they can all kind of get a shout-out on it as well, like. But, like, I think people probably, like, it's nice to be acknowledged by your real name as well, because it's more personable. But I don't think there's a bad solution to it.
Well, yeah, just tweet in whatever your personal preference, I don't mind.
If I was like, I try to think of it as what would I like if I was a listener, and if I was a listener, like, and I tweeted in a show, and they called out my Twitter handle, I'd be like, that's really sound, because, like, I might get follows out of that. You know what I mean?
I'm the opposite. But you know, mine is the exact same. It's just Corporate Keen either way. Because that's actually what it's on my birth cert, Corporate Keen. I'm actually
Same with you, Katie Harvey. Like,
yeah. But yeah. Anyway, just tweet in. Whatever. Where's the question gone? I've lost. No, I found it. Don't worry, lads. So Aina at Brown with no. Who's winning the LowsBowl this year, and why is it me? Because I'm not in it, Aina. But I'll open up anyway. You know why? Why is Aina? I'll start with you, Rick. Why is Aina winning the LowsBowl?
Aina fell asleep for the draft on Monday and woke up at, like, we've got 15 picks. He woke up on, like, the 12th pick and he's like, oh, fuck the draft! And he just came into this chat thing we have. And he actually has a really good team because he just let it on auto. Aina went 0-16 last year. He won 0 games last season.
I did better than Aina last year?
You did way better than Aina
Jesus,
last year.
I was joking, man.
Yeah.
Step it up.
But now he's actually in with a shot because he's actually ironically, he's put less effort in. So yeah, who knows? Aina could win it. I'm confident in my chances.
Well, I mean, I suppose the question we really have to ask here is, Katie, who is your favourite player in the NFL? It is the NFL, that's what we're talking about.
Cool.
Yeah, cool.
The only person I know is that person with the big head. The person with the really big head.
A lot of people in the NFL have big heads. They
hang
They're
on.
tend to be large gentlemen in general.
No, they're wearing helmets, it's not their actual
and
head.
it'd be strange if they were that big and all had little
I'll
heads.
tell you, what was his
They all
name?
look like Roblox characters. Do you ever find that really
Do you
weird?
ever watch roasts? Like on Comedy Central?
Rob Gronkowski, is it?
No.
I know what you're talking about. I've seen a little bit
Yeah.
of it.
Yeah.
So like I watched one on Rob Lowe recently and it was a football player and I knew who he was, so I just decided he was my favourite. Who the fuck was it?
Football with a big head. Anyone? Anyone at all? You're
Hang
probably
on,
screaming
here,
at the
I've got the
podcast
list.
right now.
Peyton Manning.
Oh, Peyton Manning, yeah, he's class.
Yeah.
Peyton Manning,
really cool.
what a player.
Very
What-
funny.
He's
Nice.
he is.
Yeah.
But he's also like your dad. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, he's your dad, but he's also genuinely hilarious.
He was the funniest person on that roast, and there was professional comedians on that roast, and he was the funniest.
Yeah, but he's also like one of the best footballers ever. Probably the best quarterback ever to play the game. He's everything. He's a perfect human. He's a typical quarterback. He's just got it all. He's dreamy. Sorry, that got weird.
Yeah, I didn't judge them on their looks for once. I
I wasn't judging him on his
humor.
looks. It's just like, I want to be his mate. I want to have a point with him. He's great. I
Okay.
love Peyton Manning.
Anyway, Peyton
I'm just
Manning.
agreeing with you. Like, why are you looking at me like I'm weird for validating your point?
No,
like?
Peyton Manning, what a player. What a player. Baltimore Mavens all the way. Mr. Linda Block. So John is in with another question. It's been 20 years since Didier Baptiste, I pronounce that right? Infamous penalty. What is your favourite end-of-season cliffhanger from TV or wrestling, and was the payoff worth it?
I wish I'd looked at this question earlier because I really enjoy thinking about it.
I'll go if you want time to think. That's not even the best cliffhanger from Dream Team. Like, someone got shot after the FA Cup final in Dream Team. There was a sniper at the FA Cup final, and they're celebrating with the trophy, and you just see through his scope, and then you're like, holy
Hang on,
shit.
is this real life?
Yeah, it's real.
Yeah, Dream Team. Yeah, that's real.
Manchester United.
Yeah.
It was a real.
That actually happened. It was a documentary.
They went into liquidation.
Oh no,
2005.
Dream Team. That was a TV show.
Yeah.
All right, sorry, I missed that part. I was like,
what was it all the times I said Dream Team?
Would Rick refer to a footballer getting shot dead in front of everyone as a cliffhanger?
Well, that's why I was a bit concerned.
They just go back to the studio with Gary Lineker and they're like, well, I guess we'll find out next week. No, that didn't really happen. Or like, Jesus, Dream Team did cliffhangers all the time. They did a thing where like they did a plane crash, and somehow you knew they didn't show the plane crash. Like it was a low budget show. They didn't have,
I need to watch Dream Team.
oh man, you do. But they did a plane crash, and you just knew like it was a plane crash somehow because they just were like, oh well, see you on the other side, buddy. And then they got in the plane, and you just saw the plane going into the distance, and they killed the entire cast. But like they just flew away, and you're like, why is there a lingering shot on that plane? Wait, everyone's gonna die. What? I'm like, that's everyone on the. That's all of them. And then like the next week, and this is mid-season. The next week is just like, well, they're all dead. It's just like, what the fuck? Dream Team was awesome for cliffhangers. Yeah, you do. Watch it. It'll be on YouTube.
No, but it's not. I can't find it. I tried looking for it ages ago. So if anybody has a link to all the seasons of Dream Team, send it on. I would absolutely love to watch it.
Absolutely.
John, give me that shit. Even a fucking box set or something. I need it. I need it in my life.
It's amazing. Like, yeah, and it's great. And it's like in a show entirely based on, because they had to use footage from real Premier League matches. So it was reliant on, the storylines were reliant on what happened in the Premier League match they used, and it had to be a team in blue that they then superimposed the colour purple onto, because that was Manchester United's colours. And like, so if the team in blue happened to win 2-0 that day, and like it was great because the edits were like, they showed actual footage from edited footage from Premier League matches, but then they go to the celebrations, which then like cuts onto the, like when someone would score, it'd go to the player, the character celebrating, but then it'd be on the Renford Rejects football pitch. He's like, yeah. Come on! It was so bad.
I used to always wonder how they edited those things. Like, how do you...
It was really bad.
Was it? Yeah.
And like, we thought it was cool at the time because like we weren't used to like CGI, and like you could, but those were the days where you could do like, you could make Samuel L. Jackson look like he's 30 again. You know what I mean? It was like but so we thought it was the coolest shit ever. We were like, but man, that's Chelsea. But man, they're purple. How? But I imagine if I look back now, they should really reboot that show. Netflix need to bring that back. They need to do a Sabrina with Dream Team. The Sopranos, great cliffhanger too. Like, it was the end of the show, but we're still talking about it. Like, so great cliffhanger there. Have you thought of one?
Yeah. I don't know if anyone ever watched an old TV show called Two Guys and a Girl. They've recently started showing it again on Comedy Central. You know Ryan Reynolds? It was his sitcom before he got famous.
Oh. Is Ryan Reynolds the lad that tried to high-five a blind lad on American Idol?
No, Ryan Reynolds is Deadpool.
Oh, that's what I'm thinking of. Who am I thinking of? I'll Google it. You keep talking.
So basically, this show ran, I think, for 4 seasons, but they got cancelled after they shot their last season. But they ended the last episode on a massive cliffhanger. I don't know if they did it on purpose, actually, but what they did basically was, it was all leading up to everyone coupled up, and you didn't know who was pregnant out of all the couples, and like all these different implications. So they just showed all 4 endings in the last episode, and the idea was fans were going to vote on how the next season was going to start, but it got cancelled.
Oh.
So we don't know what ending got picked. We don't know how the show actually ended, but we have 4 endings.
Yeah, you pick your own. That's awesome.
It was Ryan Seacrest. That's slight difference
Like,
there.
but it's a clever thing. I don't know why no other shows ever tried it.
Yeah.
Like, to pick your ending to see how the next season's going to start. But it was really good. Like, it's actually a really good comedy show. It's worth seeking out to watch.
Right,
It's
interesting.
really, really funny.
Yeah. Ryan Reynolds, you had me.
Yeah, like it's really, really good.
Favorite cliffhanger, Keane?
Okay, he said resting, but I didn't see that until now, so I'm just gonna ignore that part of the question. TV, not a good cliffhanger, but a cliffhanger that just sticks with me is the one where it was like, you'd know this, obviously you watched The Walking Dead, where, you know where I'm going with this, where everyone knew that somebody was getting killed off by Lucille, And also, everyone knew that going into the episode, somebody's going to die. Who's going to die? Everyone tuned in for the finale because they wanted to know who was going to die. And in the end, the noise is made. You get to see from the perspective of the person who got Lucille, which is basically a Mick Foley fucking style baseball bat wrapped in barbed wire. You get to see them get their fucking head smashed in, but only from their perspective. So blood drips down the camera, but you don't actually see who it is, and then it just cuts to the credits. So there's a 6-month wait before you get to realise who actually did it. And they filmed a death scene for every single person, so there's no leaks, no nothing. And it was bollocks. I was raging. I was genuinely raging when it happened. I was like, this is dog shit. Was it worth it? I really enjoyed the premiere. No, I enjoyed it, but it was a hard watch. Yeah. But I enjoyed it, if that makes sense. Do you know what I mean? I'll never forget that day. I was in school because I'm like fucking 7, and I'll never forget after wrestling. After Royal Rumble or WrestleMania, I avoid spoilers. And I'm really cautious of everyone's conversation. But wrestling's different because I'm the only one who really watches it. Me and like one other lad in the year watched it. The Walking Dead, though, quite a few people in my year watched it, and quite a few people are really bad at avoiding spoilers, and they're quite good at talking a lot. So I was I would literally run away from people during the day. I'd be like, I'm getting away from him, I'm not going anywhere. I would literally put my hands up to my ears if I thought I heard somebody say names from The Walking Dead. I was so scared to find out who it was before I got to watch it. So it was
Glenn, come here, Glenn. Just started screaming at them.
No, we had a talk. I think it was Alcoholics Anonymous. Something came in to do like a talk to the school, and we were just saying like, how funny would it be if it was like they just started going, some days I'd wake up after drinking and my head would be thumping, kind of like how Abraham's head was thumping after it got. I was like, no, I was genuinely paranoid about this stuff because I was like, oh no, like they're gonna fucking say something, but they didn't, thankfully. Why would they? But
thankfully, thank the Lord.
No, there was no spoilers. I managed to watch it. I don't know. I suppose it was. I don't know. I don't know if it was. That's a good question. I need to think about it.
It is a good question.
One really funny thing that came from it was going into the finale where the cliffhanger was. Some lad said, if this episode ends in a cliffhanger and we don't know who dies, I will make my own custom Lucille and shove it up my arse. And
they didn't.
No, they said that on Reddit, and I'm assuming they didn't carry out the task. I hope not, for their own sake. But everyone was like, "Oh, this is awkward." But yeah, so
brilliant. I love that cliffhanger, but like I also knew what was happening because I'd read the comics. So I was like, man, I would love this if.
No, but you didn't ask because I knew what happened in the comics as well, and they completely kind of swerved us. And how I know, obviously, so we've already mentioned that. So no point in tiptoeing around it. It was Abraham.
And Abraham.
It was Abraham first, and you're like, okay, grand, we're safe. And then Daryl punched them, and then they went after Glenn. It's one of the few Walking Dead moments where I'm like, I can watch people's reactions to this over and over again because it's just like the shock and the.
See, I knew that when they faked out Glenn dying, I knew they were testing the waters for could we get away with it at the end of this. You know what I mean? I knew they were like, we're going to need to see people's reactions because Glenn's pretty fucking beloved, like, and he's a day oneer. So I knew they were testing it for that because you know that's coming. You know Negan's coming. They're hinting towards Negan at this stage. So you're like, that's the big need. That's when Negan arrives. Like,
that fake out was gas. I don't know.
They're so stupid. We need to do a full episode of Nash on The Walking Dead. It's coming back soon. We need to do one. Is it still good and is it still viable?
I'm well up for that. Yeah. I'm also well up for reading the next question. Will that segue? Probably not. Laura, shout out. It's Laura B83. My hands are shaking. I'm sorry. I can't read it properly. In your opinion, do you think Raw and SmackDown will get better or worse under Heyman and Bischoff?
I think it's been really good recently. So yeah, I think it's just going to continue like that. They've found a good niche, and like, thing about SmackDown today, like they're building the undercard. You know, they're building the next level. Like Chad Gable is looking great. Buddy Murphy is looking great. Like everyone seems to have something interesting to do right now. So I think it's just going to keep getting better.
Yeah, no, I do agree. But what I will say is that as fans, none of us know who's writing what.
Yeah, that's good.
That's a very, very important thing to remember. Is that I'll tell you what, no matter what, right? If it gets better, people will be saying Heyman. absolute hero, man.
Yeah.
He knows his stuff, and if it's shit, people be like, Vince McMahon always getting the last word in.
Yeah.
None of us know. I mean, we could watch a Clash show that's all done by Vince, and none of us would know. So
well, we do, because like the SmackDown everyone was raving about, it was really funny a few weeks ago, because everyone's like, SmackDown was class last night, SmackDown was class, and then like the day after everyone comes out with this, they're like, the new era, it's the new era, man. And then it's like Dave Meltzer breaks a story where it's like Vince McMahon ripped up the show a half an hour beforehand and rewrote it himself, and it's like, all right. I guess Vince still knows a thing or two. Yeah, the millionaire who's like owns wrestling, he does know a thing or two about wrestling.
It's like who's your man, Ryan Ward, the old NXT writer that I used to NXT. Apparently he was really good, but then Road Dogg took over, and everybody's like, "Oh fuck, Road Dogg, SmackDown shit." And then it started getting really good. They're like, "Oh, it's really good." Road Dogg's still writing it. Oh no, but he's shit.
Yeah,
it's like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
it's just.
Yeah.
I just think that's just a layer that we don't know enough about. I don't
We don't know shit.
I don't like talking about the writers or who's writing what or booking what, but yeah. But but what I will say is hopefully during the AEW stuff, WWE will step it up, and so far they have. I've been enjoying Raw and SmackDown lately.
I think they're absolutely crushing it.
Yeah.
I think they're going to destroy AEW now. Not kill them. Like, I don't think they're going to kill them. I think AEW will build a niche following, and they're good enough and original enough to be able to last on their own, but I think it's going to be like Impact, where they're last side by side. I think AEW, by not going directly head-to-head, I know WWE have counter-programs, but like AEW, by not going head-to-head and not positioning themselves as we're going to put them out of business, like Impact did, have kept their head off the chopping block where they can survive. But I think this is only going to make WWE better, and I think this time next year WWE will be the relevant. I think within a year or two WWE will be the only relevant part of wrestling, even if we all hate it, because but people still will give it all the attention.
That's what I was going to ask, even though it's not what Laura asked, but I'm asking it. Like, how do you see like AEW like getting on TV and stuff? Like, do you think they're going to get the ratings that they need to get? Because I really want them to, and I obviously when I predict something, I predict what I want, even though it might not necessarily come true. Rowan beating Roman at Clash of Champions, but I just have this horrible feeling in my stomach where I just think like AEW, it's gonna do a world of sport. Not like it'll be good quality wise, but it'll do like Rev Pro on Free Sports, for example, or World of Sport on ITV. I think it's going to be like one of those things where for the wrestling fans it's cool, we're all going to tune in, and it'll still be a lot less than what they need. Then they'll start switching time slots and then days and then stations. I don't think it'll go out of business. I just don't think it's going to like take over the world the way we might want it to.
I'm a little bit more optimistic because I think it's time for another good, successful TV show.
Hopefully.
I think wrestling is hot again right now. I don't know. I think it will, and I think there's enough money behind AEW that like they'll do the proper advertising and stuff, you know.
That's what I'm hoping as well. Yeah, like Khan coming in and sort of doing it. I don't know. I just think I'm going to be optimistic and say they're going to do daily.
I think NXT are going to beat it, and I think people are going to realize now when I think NXT are going to beat them in the ratings, and it's going to be awkward, and I think people are going to realize there's a world of difference between the interest level in WWE and it with AEW. And I think NXT are going to beat them in the ratings and beat them soundly. I think they're going to get caught out because they're very good at spinning what they have into something meaningful. They're like, we sold out a show. And it's like, yeah, it's 20,000 seat arena. Like, that's really good. Like, for an indie promotion, that's really good. But it's not like on the same level as WWE. You promote it like one show a year, and you sold that out. And it's like, well, WWE didn't sell out. That was their fourth show that week. You know what I mean? So, there's a difference.
And also, when WWE has to take something out like the top drawer, you know what I mean? When they're when their backs are against the wall and they need to reach, they can pull out some mad shit at the fucking click of their fingers.
Hey, Hogan, Austin, Taker want to show up for one show? You know what I mean?
Yeah, just mad shit like that. It's just, I don't know, but it's going to be really interesting. And
I can't wait.
I hope they both go as long as possible.
In October, wrestling's going to be unreal.
And this is normally the dead season, you know what I mean? This is normally the shit part of the year. Now I'm buzzing, and I'm grateful for it. Anyway, so alright, the last two questions are, I'm just going to read them both out. We're going to, I suppose, put them together.
Same.
One is the third member of the Woke Keens. Shout out at Sean McGovern. What was your worst experience getting to a wrestling show? If none, then what was your worst experience at a show? And then Declan tweets in asking, have you ever gotten lost going to a wrestling show? And where was it on that question is more for Katie Harvey because I want to know, do wrestlers get lost? So we'll start with Katie, I suppose.
I'm going to answer Declan's part first. Declan, I wrestled in Belfast approximately once a month for 6 years, and I still had to use a sat-nav to get to the venue, which was the same every single month. I am notorious for getting lost and not knowing where I am. The first time we wrestled in the Big Sean, I had a course for work on that day, so I was only getting there at 6 o'clock, cutting it very close to showtime. Got lost. Put my sat-nav on, kept taking me down all the stupid little side roads around there. I pulled in and started crying because it was getting so close to showtime. I was getting really stressed out. I had a really long day on the course. So I rang Phil. I don't know where I am. Can you see a laundrette? Yeah, it's around the corner. And the worst experience getting to a show, like, I've had some shitty ones, but one that sticks out is I was wrestling in Belgium. So I had a 6 a.m. flight to Belgium. That was okay. 2-hour ride to the venue. You know, that was bad. Wrestled, was a bit tired. Aoife and Phil were with me at the time. Me and Aoife were wrestling in Scotland the next day. But there are no direct flights from Belgium to Scotland.
Valkyrie, by the way, just in case.
Valkyrie, yeah. So what we had to do was we had to finish the show in Belgium, which finished at 11 o'clock, rush to get a train from Belgium from the town in Belgium into Brussels, which is the main town. Wait 2 hours, get a bus from Brussels to Amsterdam, get into Amsterdam, find another bus to take us to the airport. This stage, it's 4 a.m. We hadn't slept. We hadn't slept since 4 a.m. the previous day when we flew to Belgium. At the airport, we met Morden Hype, who were, by coincidence, wrestling in Holland that night. I got no sleep once we met Morden Hype at the airport, which had been my plan. Get another 6 a.m. flight back to Dublin, wait for 2 hours there, and then fly to Scotland, where again we wrestled. Didn't finish the show till 11 p.m. Flew out at 6 a.m. the next day. I got about 4 hours sleep in the 3 or 4 days, and I just remember being a zombie. Like, I just existed on coffee. Like,
that sounds horrible.
It was disgusting. And the worst thing about Amsterdam is, like, okay, it wasn't actually Morden Hype that kept me awake. Amsterdam have a rule that you're not allowed to sleep in the airport, so we would doze off for a nap, and the security guards would come over and wake you up.
Is there a reason for that rule?
Homeless people, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, but still, they don't want people sleeping in the airport, so they will come over and very rudely wake you up. So basically, what we had to do is leave one person awake while the rest of us napped. And then when the security guard came, be like, get up.
That's such a weird rule.
It's such a weird rule, isn't it? Like, it was
impossible
horrific.
As well.
It was a tough trip.
Wrestlers get lost more than they find their place.
You got like wrestling.ie as well, don't you? Like fucking, in like fucking Ballydilhooly and fucking County Bog. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, especially like now, there's Google Maps and there's a lot more kind of technology has kind of helped a lot. Where you can get around the world if you have Wi-Fi, like, and pretty much find your way. But especially like back in the day before we had it, and we had like dodgy sat-navs. Our sat-nav is new technology. What you're saying there about just taking you down back arse and nowhere, yeah, all the time that used to happen. Yeah, more often than not. A couple of bad stories sprung to mind for me. We nearly died on the way to a wrestling show before. What was it? My mate, who used to always drive us down, had a fear of getting his traps touched. It was a weird thing he had, which is weird in wrestling as well. Like,
his traps is in the tops of his shoulders?
Yeah. It's just a weird thing about that. So like me and Bruiser, of course, all the time. Once he told us this, they're like a fucking bullseye. Like, so in the middle of it, like, I get a text from Kev and he's like, "When on 3, both grab a trap each," and I'm like, "Grand." So he's sitting in the passenger seat. We're driving down a motorway. He's sitting in the passenger seat. I'm sitting in the back, and then Kev just puts his fingers up. He just goes, 1, 2, 3. Both of us grab a trap each. Your man spins and does a 360 on the motorway. We're like, "Oh my God, we're gonna die!"
I would freak. I hate people messing in the car.
We never would have done that. Oh my God. we're like, we're gonna die. And then like we eventually steadied up the car, and then like the other poor chap, we're used to fucking about on our own, like, but the other guy who happens to be in the car with us, I'll tell you who it was after, do you know them, was just sitting in the corner, like, just like probably pissed himself and just ready to cry. And then the Commitments Mustang Sally comes on and it's like, and we're all just silent and traumatized, and then we all just go at the same time, Mustang Sally. Another time, this is more depressing. I was on shows over in the UK, and I kind of booked my own itinerary. I just was like, right, I'll go from there to there and there, because I was on my own. And what was it? I didn't make a plan for the last night because I was flying out at like 6 in the morning. So I'm like, I'm sure I'll get someone to drop me back to Luton or whatever. I'm sure somebody will be going through London. I didn't. I got someone, the closest anyone was going was Ipswich. We got there at like 1 o'clock in the morning. So they dropped me off at the train station. And like, you know, like English trains are fucking expensive. Mm-hmm. So I spent all of my money like buying a ticket, so I had no more money left. I had like €1 to get like a Capri Sun in the thing. And so I'm like, guess I'm just gonna like chill in the train station. And I sat there for like an hour, like with my gear, like, what am I gonna do? And there's a hobo like setting up for the night, like beside me. And then security comes along, he's like, we're closing now. So I had to wait outside and literally sleep in like under a fucking like cover of a bus station, and like just like kind of like sleep at a bus stop, and like for like, but like I'm sleeping with one eye open because I have my gear, my wallet, my phone and shit like that. So I'm like, I had to lightly sleep and like basically with one eye open until 6 a.m. When the train was able to go on. Literally, I was the first person on that train. I'm like, get me on, fucking try. And then I had to stay away because I'm on my own as well. Like, so I'm like, I can't miss my stop either. So I'm like, oh, it was fucking torture. I got back and my dad picked me up from the airport. I'm like, I don't want to wrestle anymore. It broke me. It was a horrible way back. Keane, have you ever had any bad experiences on your 5 road trips?
Getting 2 shows, no. I mean, like, obviously air coaches, as a fan, I took the odd air coach down to cancel Championship Wrestling, and it wasn't pleasant. I suppose, like, he also, so to answer Sean's where he said worst experience at a show, I remember I went to the Blitz Pro Wrestling Ulster. It was very cold, first of all, and I out of nowhere decided to get very sick, and I spent all that night, it was New Year's, and I spent the whole thing in the toilet getting sick. I don't know why. Jesus. It wasn't like I wasn't drinking or anything, I just got really, really sick. And after that, so after that kind of it was fun. Like, after that, it was like good. I was out for the countdown, sort of, just about, and then were
you there for the lip sync battle?
No, I was getting sick during that. Okay. I missed that. Apparently Owen like smashed it. I don't know, but yeah, so I missed that. I missed a lot of it, which is really shit, because it did actually seem like pretty fun. Do you know what I mean? But then the way back from that was pretty bad, because there was no taxis. It was New Year's, and we had to walk from S13 back to Belfast City Centre, and I wasn't in control of where we were going. Someone else was, doing the Google Maps and all that shit, and I was just following whoever. And we ended up walking through. I was like, I see a lot of flags there in the distance. What's that? Is this? Oh, that's a Union Jack. Oh, that's another Union Jack. Oh, that's the Rangers FC Supporters Club. Oh. And I'm looking around me, I'm like, you ever see a SpongeBob meme where he's just lost and he's just like, and I'm like, there's a mural there. Like, the curves are painted like blue, white, and red. I'm like, ooh. I'm looking around, I see Oren being like fucking, doing his whole sort of like, bomb. I'm like, Oren, shut up. Oh, shut up. No.
Yeah.
And it's New Year's. Everyone's out. Every single person's out. There's everyone. The bar is full. It's spilling out. There's young lads all screaming in Protestant, and they're like fucking. And I'm like, they're kind of like, they're rough as well. Like, they're not just like minding their own business. They're kind of like not physically attacking people, but kind of shouting at people and kind of like trying to provoke and get a reaction and stuff. I'm like, if I get confronted 1-on-1, what do I do? I'm like,
cry.
Do I put on a Nordy accent? Would they see through it?
I've actually done
that. Do I put on an English accent? Do I put on an American accent? Because then I'm neutral, and it's kind of like, well, they don't know more about America than I do. If I say I'm from Ohio, they're just going to have to buy it, you know what I mean? And then it's like, but I'm also like, I hope Oren doesn't fucking scream like up the rah or some shit, and I'm like, oh no, it was sweaty. but we just about made it through.
Jesus.
Just about made it back to the air coach.
Was this, so you didn't stay overnight in Belfast?
No, we walked back to the air coach.
That's insane. We stayed that night. We got a hostel down the road. I think there's 16 of us from Five Factory. And I'm usually the most responsible, so I was put in charge of booking the hostel, which I did, which was fine. And when I went to book in, this hostel didn't have keys. What I had was door codes on tiny slips of paper, right? So they hand me 16 tiny slips of paper, and I put them in my bag thinking, like, okay, when I see everyone, I'll dish these out. Because we were in, like, I think 2 or 3 different rooms.
Right.
What actually happened was I got incredibly drunk after the show at S13, and we walked back to the hostel, and like there was a lot of strangers there, so we got takeaway. We'd Always Sunny it's on. Someone had a guitar out, like having an absolute sesh. The younger ones didn't really like that, so they decided to go to bed. So I just handed them a handful of paper slips. There you go, lads. Let yourselves into the room. What I also did is a few people had decided not to stay in the hostel after all, so I gave those slips to random people in the hostel room. You need a bed, here you go. Oh, you need a bed, here you go. I remember Darren coming down to me and be like, Katie, these slips of paper don't work. We can't find our rooms. We can't get in. Darren, I can't help you. Through the rest of the slips, Sam. You'll have to figure this out. And I didn't go to bed that night. I stayed up the entire night. 7 a.m. I was still downstairs with a couple of other people. And yeah, the lads had an awful night because strangers were coming in out of their room. Like, people were banging on the doors trying to get in. Like, it was chaos. I caused chaos in the entire hostel with the rooms. Someone accidentally got locked in the toilet. I can't remember who it was, but they texted me and they went, I'm locked in the toilet. I was so drunk, I thought they meant they were drunk, and they were left there for an hour because I didn't cop to go let them out of the toilet. I only realised when I needed to go, and I went to get in, and I was banging on the door, and then I heard them shout, and they're like, Katie, I've been locked for an hour. That was my blitz night.
You tried to have one night out.
Yeah.
Katie being an irresponsible letdown is a very appropriate way to end Arsenal Buzz. So thank you all for your questions. It was great. Bye.